You're safe.
Yeah. Well, we found a glitch.
Hi, Xeno people. If you're here, I'm guessing you've already seen episode 5, so I don't have to remind you how wild things got on the Maginot. We will discuss about the episode 6. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. But before we get into this new trailer, I need to point something out. Am I the only one who thinks there's a bit of a plot hole in episode 5? Here's what I mean. If Boy Cavalier had an inside man who sabotaged the ship and made sure it crashed right into Prodigy territory, then why did he act so surprised about it in episode 1? He looked completely caught off guard, like he wasn't expecting the Maginot to land at all. Shouldn't he have been more prepared if this was part of his plan? And another thing, how did Petrovich, the saboteur, even know about putting a human mind into a synthetic body? Wendy was supposed to be the very first hybrid experiment, right? That whole project should have been top secret. It doesn't make sense that Boy would casually tell some random engineer about it, especially a guy he didn't plan to keep alive. Just feels like a dangling thread that might need explaining later. Anyway, enough about the last episode. Let's get into what really matters right now. The brand new trailer for Alien Earth Episode 6. FX just dropped it, and there's a lot to unpack, from Wendy bonding with her pet chest burster, to new hybrid glitches, to a possible facehugger attack, and maybe even our first look at Specimen 5. There's so much to talk about, so let's dive in.
Come too far to fail now, because you don't have the stomach to bring this home.
Back to the present timeline. Episode 5 was basically one giant flashback to the Maginot, showing how the ship's sabotage set everything in motion. But the Episode 6 trailer makes it clear that we're back in the present day. And right away, the vibe is totally different. The action seems to be centered in Prodigy's underground labs, where all of the alien specimens are being kept. We see chaos breaking out, glass containers shaking, alarms blaring. It looks like the fragile control Boy Cavalier thought he had over his little alien zoo is about to come crashing down. And if you thought things were bad before, just wait, because the trailer introduces what looks like a whole new stage of Xenomorph development. Wendy and the Tenomorph. Remember at the end of episode 4 when Wendy basically snake charmed a baby chest burster? That jaw-dropping moment where she calmed it down instead of running for her life? Well, the trailer shows us what happens next. Apparently some time has passed because the creature she's talking to isn't a tiny worm-like chest burster anymore. It's grown arms and legs. It's not a full-grown xenomorph yet, but it's definitely not a baby either. Let's call it a Tenomorph. The fact that Wendy can still communicate with it at this stage is terrifying. If her connection continues as it matures, we're talking about a potential human-xeno alliance. Imagine what that means. An intelligent, weaponized xenomorph that actually takes orders. That could tilt the balance of power completely. And here's the really chilling part. Wendy doesn't seem afraid of it at all. If anything, she's becoming attached to it. When her brother Joe talks about getting them out of Prodigy, Wendy flat out says, "What if I don't want to go?" That line says everything. Wendy is slipping further into Prodigy's control, but she's also forging a bond with the very creatures that are supposed to wipe out humanity.
You got a way to get us out of here.
What if I don't want to go?
Joe wants out. Speaking of Joe, the trailer gives us a glimpse of his mindset too. He's clearly worried about Wendy's safety. We hear him asking someone off screen if she's okay, and later he tells her he's working on a plan to escape the facility. Joe's protective instincts have always been strong, but he's in an impossible situation. On one side, Prodigy has him locked down. On the other, his sister doesn't even want to leave. And with Wendy forming her strange attachment to the Tenomorph, Joe may end up in direct conflict with her. So that raises a tough question. If Wendy chooses the aliens over her family, what does Joe do? Does he fight to save her from herself, or does he become collateral damage in her transformation?
I said stop it!
Dame Sylvia and the glitch. The trailer also puts a spotlight on Dame Sylvia, Prodigy's robotic caretaker for the hybrid kids. We hear her mention that she's found a glitch. Now, the big mystery is, what glitch is she talking about? Is it Wendy's unnatural bond with the Xenomorph? Is it Nibs, who dropped that bizarre pregnancy bombshell back in episode 4? Or is it something bigger, like a flaw in Prodigy's entire hybrid program? We do see Nibs undergoing what looks like a brain scan in the trailer, which makes me think she's part of this glitch storyline. Maybe Prodigy is realizing that the hybrids aren't as stable as they thought. If Wendy is showing psychic or empathic connections to aliens and Nibs is showing unexpected reproductive changes, then the whole Lost Boys experiment could be spinning out of control. Sylvia's glitch line might even be foreshadowing a full-on system collapse where Prodigy can't keep its creations in line.
Working out a way to get us out of here.
The Facehugger attack. Okay, let's talk about the moment everyone's buzzing about, the possible Facehugger scene. In the trailer, we get a blink and you'll miss it shot of someone being attacked by a Facehugger. If you pause, it really does look like Arthur, Dame Sylvia's husband. Arthur's already in trouble with Boy Cavalier after disagreeing about Wendy, and honestly, he's one of the few scientists we could actually see spending time near the specimens. That makes him a prime candidate to get facehugged. Now, it's not confirmed, so it could be misdirection, but if it is Arthur, it would serve two purposes. First, it raises the stakes for Dame Sylvia personally, and second, it gives Prodigy an excuse to study yet another chestburster up close. A human scientist becoming a host would be cruel irony, and exactly the kind of thing Boy Cavalier would exploit. The title, The Fly. The episode is titled The Fly, and that can't be a coincidence. Longtime fans will remember the classic sci-fi horror movie, The Fly, all about a grotesque transformation gone wrong. Here, it might be pointing towards Specimen 5, which some fans think is insectoid in nature. We do see glimpses of a new creature in the trailer, though it's not entirely clear if that's Specimen 5, but given the title, I wouldn't be surprised if this episode focuses on the debut of a new alien species, one that's bug-like, fast, and terrifying. The official synopsis for episode 6 says, "Tensions rise as powerful enemies confront each other. A dangerous plan unfolds, and curiosity leads to deadly consequences." That line about powerful enemies could be a reference to Prodigy versus Weyland-Yutani, since we know those two corporations are on a collision course. But it could just as easily mean alien versus alien. We already saw the Ocellus and the Xenomorph square off briefly. Episode 6 might give us even more monster-on-monster action. Curiosity and consequences. That last part of the synopsis really sticks with me. Curiosity leads to deadly consequences. In the world of Alien, curiosity is always deadly. Whether it's poking at a facehugger, trying to decode alien DNA, or studying a specimen too closely, it never ends well. So who's gonna pay the price this time? My bet is Arthur. His curiosity as a scientist could lead directly to that facehugger scene, but it could also apply to Wendy. Her curiosity about the aliens, her willingness to bond with them, could be the spark that unleashes something Prodigy can't control. Predictions. The bigger war. Looking at this trailer as a whole, episode 6 feels like a pivot point. Up to now, we've been slowly building tension, moving between flashbacks and experiments, but this is where the experiments start to unravel. Wendy is aligning herself with the aliens. Joe wants to escape. Sylvia is spotting glitches.
Arthur may be doomed, and Boy Cavalier's iron grip over Neverland is starting to show cracks. If Prodigy can't control its hybrids or its aliens, then Weyland-Yutani will swoop in to try and take everything for themselves. That's the war brewing in the background. Two megacorporations fighting for control of creatures that can't really be controlled. And in the middle of it all is Wendy, a hybrid who might be more powerful and more dangerous than either side realizes. Our nerdy thoughts. So, what do I think is going to happen in episode 6? Here are my big predictions. Arthur is the one who gets facehugged. His curiosity and proximity to the lab make him the perfect victim. Wendy's bond with the Tenomorph gets stronger, and she'll resist Joe's attempts to free her.
Nibs' quote-unquote glitch will come to light, maybe revealing that she's carrying some kind of alien hybrid offspring. Specimen 5, The Fly, makes its debut, and it won't be pretty. And finally, by the end of the episode, Prodigy's control over Neverland will start to break, setting the stage for Weyland-Yutani to make their move. Episode 6 looks like it's going to be the moment where everything starts spiraling out of control, and honestly, I can't wait.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.